So how many accidents of the Fukushima type or Three Mile Island or Chernobyl has India had?
None. None
Uh,
of that scale
You,
and
you're not
none.
telling me the correct thing, sir.
Pardon?
Maybe you are hiding something.
No. There is no reason for me to hide. See, that for us, safety is the first priority, safety is the second priority, and safety is the third priority. And we have no doubt in belief, and we do believe that a safe reactor is more productive reactor.
India is considered a country with high-end nuclear technology. India makes its own nuclear reactors. India mines its own uranium. India fabricates, designs its own nuclear reactors, and has mastered a certain type of reactor called the pressurized heavy water reactor. I have with me Mr. S.K. Sharma. He is the head of the Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, India's key utility for supplying carbon-free energy to the country. And recently, they had the successful initiation of the chain reaction at India's frontline, first of a kind atomic power plant at Kakda Par. Uh, Mr. Sharma, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I am happy to be with you. Namaskar, Mr. Bagla.
Namaskar, sir. Please tell me what is the key achievement which has happened at Kakda Par?
She, at Kakrapar, Gujarat site of Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, yesterday we made the unit number 3 critical. As such, if you see, this is the 23rd reactor which has been made critical in the country. But in a way, it is unique because this is the first 700 megawatt reactor which is designed by us and which is erected with the Indian manufactured equipment by the Indian contracting firms.
So what does critical mean? Because normally when we say critical, and today we are living in the era of COVID-19 and Corona, and you talk of critical and it means somebody is sitting in the intensive care unit. So what does critical mean for an average person, and why should we celebrate being critical?
See, criticality means establishing the self-sustained chain reaction of fission reactions within the reactor. So it signals or it indicates that now the reactor is live and kicking. It is capable of producing electricity, it is capable of producing power. And yes, now more care has to be given because it is an operational reactor for all practical purposes. So that is why if we say that it is critical in the other sense also, it's okay. Otherwise, criticality is a technical term. My physicist friends will know that this means that the chain reaction has become self-sustained at the constant level.
So why we were making usually 220 megawatt pressurized heavy water reactor. We went to 540. Now is 700 our mainstay reactor for the time being?
Yes, you are absolutely correct, Mr. Bagla. We made the beginning with the modest 220 megawatt reactors. We upgraded the design to 540 megawatt, and now this is the optimum level where of 700 megawatt. We are going to build a series of reactors of pressurized heavy water reactor type with 700 megawatt capacity.
How safe are these reactors?
These reactors are the latest reactors employing all the state of the art safety features, and I can assure you, and through you I can assure my viewers, that there is no reason to feel concerned about the safety of these reactors.
So can we have a Fukushima type of accident at this new 700 megawatt Takra power reactor?
Well, without going into the details of the technicalities, I can say with confidence that that kind of accident cannot happen at this plant, or for that matter, any of our plants.
So have we incorporated some passive cooling features, because that is one of the key requirements going ahead for good reactors?
Yes, we have a number of passive safety features, and also we have made special provisions in our design to take care of beyond design basis scenarios or events.
So when do we hope to generate electricity from this?
Give me another 3 to 4 months, because now we will be doing a lot of experiments and tests to check the effectiveness of all these new passive and active safety features, which are first of a kind. So, and then at every stage the results will be reviewed by the regulator, and stage wise clearances will be given by the regulator to raise the power and to connect it with the grid. All this, completing all this process of due diligence, my estimate is that it will take about 4 months when we start producing full power from this reactor.
How challenging was it to develop a reactor of a grade higher, which is from 220 to 540 to 700 megawatt?
Well, every new endeavor has its own challenges, and when the endeavor is of such a technological complexity, like building a modern day nuclear reactor, it is manifold, and it is not simply multiplying by, say, 2.5 or something like that, or 1.5 like that. The whole reactor has been redesigned. All the systems have been redesigned, and not only the size has gone up, the concepts have also changed, and that is why this is a new design. It is an evolved design, and it was a challenge not only for us to design the system. You can put the numbers with the tolerances on the paper, but then the real challenge lies while manufacturing those equipment to those tolerances and meeting the nuclear quality requirements. So the Indian industry also faced a great challenge, because they were also making equipment of this size for the first time, meeting the nuclear quality standards. Similarly, the contracting firms which were erecting the reactor, which were constructing the structures, they were also faced with the new challenges. But I am happy to share with you that the Indian industry and the Indian manufacturing companies, Indian constructing companies, they rose to the challenge. They innovated, they adopted new methodologies, they mobilized extra resources, and ultimately together we could complete this reactor and make the reactor operational by making it critical.
It has taken almost 10 years. Why did it take so long, sir?
See, the answer lies in what we had been discussing so far. This is a new reactor. This is a first of a kind reactor. So as I said, there was a huge learning curve involved for all of us, NPCIL designers, the equipment manufacturers, and the constructing companies. All of us, we are learning. And that is why at every stage, whenever it was needed, we had to revisit our methods, our resource deployment, our procedures, and refine it to get the desired quality as decided in the advance, and which is needed for a nuclear reactor. So because of this learning curve, it took more than anticipated time or more than the time which we are used to for taking for building the nuclear reactors in this country.
Oh, you
There,
had made 4 to 5 years, I remember.
yes, 5 years.
That was
Yes.
your ballpark, and that was a gold standard.
No, we will come back quickly. We will come back to the same standard after incorporating the learning from these reactors. And there was one more challenge in between, Mr. Bagla. You follow the industry, you follow the technology, so you are well aware that there was an accident in 2011 at Fukushima. And when the learning or the lessons from that accident became known to the nuclear fraternity, we conducted a review of all our operating reactors, and also we paused the work on Kakrapar 3 and 4 and revisited our design, our safety features in light of the lessons which we had learned from the Fukushima reactor, and incorporated, hardened the design wherever we thought it is necessary. So that also added to the time of completion, because there was a sort of mid-term review.
And, did the current pandemic cause any delays, because we are in India going through the corona or the COVID-19 pandemic?
See, this unfortunate outbreak of the pandemic has affected the society, the economy in many ways. And we cannot say that the business is as usual or business had been as usual. It has affected us also, like it has affected the entire society and maybe the world community. Kakrapar units under construction, you see, during this pandemic, our operating units continued to operate. And we did, I will say, gave very satisfactory performance with respect to our operating units. The effect on units under construction was a little more because of the unique challenges involved in this type of endeavor, by way of a very large number of workers, a very large workforce working in a rather confined area or a small area. So challenges associated with this and
So
taking care of their safety concern.
how did you overcome and how did you maintain physical distancing, hand sanitization, washing, etc.?
Well, I will say, if I tell it in short, I will say attention to detail. That means take care of the small things. I will tell you, for example, see, washing of the hands is needed. But in a project under construction, where are the wash basins? So we quickly erected wash basins at all our work areas. We gave ourselves a target that nobody should be required to go out of the work area for washing hands. And it should be neat and clean with the availability of the liquid soap. So this is the attention to detail. Similarly, see, we have a system of job hazard analysis, where we, before starting the work, we analyze the work to identify the hazards involved in it, and the I will say the protective measures needed to counter the hazard. This we used to do primarily for taking care of industrial safety requirements. But after the outbreak of pandemic, we added review with respect to prevention of spread of contagious disease among the workforce during the job hazard analysis. And the outcome of this job hazard analysis is documented as a SOP. Making an SOP is not good enough. Every day in the morning before starting the work, we do something called pre-job briefing, where the crews are briefed about the job. So this SOP became a regular part of our pre-job briefing every day for every crew. And
How many people at Kakrapar contracted corona, sir?
during the construction, out of the construction workforce, none.
Wow.
Zero.
That is very admirable for a pandemic which is affecting the entire world, that your work for. And what about inside the reactor? Did any of your employees or staff workers contract corona, sir?
At Kagrapar site, we had two cases where our regular employees not working in the construction project tested positive for the virus. One of them has recovered and other one is also not having any serious symptoms.
So you took due precautions.
These precautions are being taken not only in the project under construction but everywhere. But you see, in an industrial setup, each job and each location has different challenges with respect to implementing these desired behaviors of frequently washing hands, wearing the mask, maintaining the distance. Unique challenges are there. So we identify as part of job hazard analysis the challenges involved, the special precautions to be taken, the special measures to be implemented, and then we made the audit teams. The jobs were being observed by independent auditors. Independent means they had no responsibility for giving the production. So they were simply observing and reporting their observations to the top management in the daily project review meeting. So that was the feedback mechanism.
I'm not sure whether you are aware of this particular fact, but I checked with the International Atomic Energy Agency database in Vienna and also with the World Nuclear Agency. And you will be happy to note, and I want your reaction to this. Kakrapar is the first new build reactor to have a sustained chain reaction of nuclear type during the corona pandemic era. No other reactor builder dared to go to a stage and take a reactor to operationality. Uh, that I do not know whether you are aware of this fact, but I double checked it. And this should be something which NPCIL, Department of Atomic Energy, and the Government of India should be very happy about, because most people were very scared of this. But yes, you dared to go. Delays are one thing, but then you dared to do something during a pandemic which most people did not dare to do. So, what is your reaction to it?
My colleagues have also told me that ours is the first reactor to have attained criticality after January this year. Well, it gives a lot of satisfaction that in spite of all the challenges associated with the outbreak of such a pandemic, we could continue progressing, maybe at a slower pace, but we could maintain our progress in the right direction, and we did not resort to I will say, shutdown of the job or total shutdown of the total stoppage of the work. So I'm happy, I'm satisfied.
Going forward, what is the plan? How many more reactors are we making and how many are in the pipeline? How many have the government cleared?
This expansion program I would like to divide into 3 stages. First stage, we have 6 reactors, of course, including Kakrapar 3, which are at advanced stage of construction. And these reactors will be completed by the year 2024. So you can see that every year we will be adding one new reactor to the fleet, and the combined capacity of these 6 reactors is 4,800 megawatt. Then there are 4 more reactors, 2 700 megawatt reactors and 2,000 megawatt reactors, which are ready for start of construction. The ground preparation is over, excavation is over, and we are going to start the construction formally very soon. These reactors will add another 3,400 megawatt. In addition to that, Government of India has approved 10 more 700 megawatt PSWRs of Kakrapar 3 design to be constructed at 5 sites, and pre-project activities at these sites are in progress.
So in all, how many, sir?
So if you see total 20 more reactors are in pipeline, which are either under construction or soon to begin construction, or which have been sanctioned by the Government of India. And the total capacity of the fleet after completion of this expansion program will become very close to 22,000 megawatt, to be precise 21,980 megawatt.
And today, how many reactors do we have functional now in India?
We have 21 reactors with a capacity of 6,680 megawatt, owned and operated by NPCIL. There is one more reactor, Rajasthan Unit 1, which is owned by the Government of India, 100 megawatt.
I know that is in an extended shutdown stage. You have that. Both of us have visited that facility when you were there. And beyond this, sir, do we have sufficient uranium fuel in the country to feed our reactors?
See, the ownership of the nuclear fuel lies with the Government of India. It is provided to NPCIL on lease. And Government of India, while sanctioning the projects, does check for the fuel availability and does ensure the fuel linkage. So I have no reason to believe that these reactors are going to face any shortage of fuel.
Many people say today nuclear technology is a dinosaur technology. Everybody is going towards solar. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks of the Solar Alliance and giving clean, green, pure energy to the world. Now, how do you justify making atomic energy and atomic reactors?
Well, I am also personally a big fan of solar energy. Solar as well as wind, both. There is no contradiction. See, the grid needs electricity from various sources. In addition to these renewable energy sources, grid needs a certain amount of base load electricity as well. Otherwise, the system costs will go very high. And right now there are only two viable sources of base load electricity. One is coal-fired or maybe the diesel-fired or oil-fired or gas-fired thermal power stations or the nuclear reactors. So, if we want to quickly reach the goal of carbon neutrality or zero emissions, we will have to increase our reliance on nuclear energy, which is equally green, equally carbon-free as compared as the wind, I will say, or hydro. Nuclear is right there. So we will have to increase our reliance on this clean source of baseload electricity, in addition to encouraging the use of solar, wind, hydel, and other similarly clean sources of energy.
But how do you win the hearts and minds of people? People are still very scared of nuclear, sir. Everybody thinks of Hiroshima and Nagasaki the moment we talk about nuclear reactors.
Yes, that is the challenge. See, this is the legacy nuclear energy has to live with, that the world started knowing about the power of atom through some destructive events, as you mentioned, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So that association will never go away. But slowly we are winning the hearts, especially in the India. We are able to convince the people, explain to the people that there is a difference between an uncontrolled chain reaction, which happens in an atomic bomb, and a controlled chain reaction, which happens in a nuclear reactor, where all precautions are taken, all steps are taken to ensure safety. And our record probably will speak for us, and probably that will be the biggest convincing argument.
So how many accidents of the Fukushima type or 3 Mile Island or Chernobyl has India had?
None of that scale. And
you're not telling me the correct thing, sir.
Pardon?
Maybe you are hiding something.
No, no, no. There is no reason for me to hide. See, I have nothing personal in it. I know a little bit of this technology, and that is why I talk with a little more confidence about this technology. I know the strength of this technology. That's all. Otherwise, the person.
We have never had an accident of that type in India.
Yes, not of that type, not of a scale or severity or type, even closely matching that.
A couple of more questions. So we already have one very interesting world record, which is the oldest functioning nuclear reactor in India, which is Tarapur 1 and 2. I have visited that. It's an legacy reactor. Today, it is giving probably the world the cheapest source of electricity. What do you have to say? And how did you make it functional for close to 50 years?
Now the 50 years are over, so it is not 50 years, it is beyond 50 years.
Yes.
See, these are the reactors of the first generation, doing still giving a very satisfactory performance. But I must admit, and I must recognize the efforts being made by the team operating these reactors and the team in the head office, which provides the technical support to these reactors for conducting very intensive, in-depth, periodical examinations to assure ourselves that the reactor is as healthy as any other reactor, and it is absolutely safe to keep operating these reactors. First we assure ourselves, then we assure our regulator.
So how long will you continue operating Tarapur 1 and 2?
Right now, I will say that I don't see any reason to shut any of them down for next 5 years. But we will keep on reviewing it, and we will take a fresh call when we are close to 5 years.
You also created a world record for the longest number of continuous days of operation of any reactor. Tell me a little bit about that, sir. You have many world records which we have to talk about, sir.
I'm happy to talk about all these things because these are the rather very happy moments which we shared and which we experienced. Kaiga Unit 1 operated continuously for 962 days. Before it was shut down for a planned outage, the unit was still operating very satisfactorily. All parameters were in extremely healthy condition, and there was no need to shut down the unit. It was shut down for a predetermined inspection outage. So, well, again, I will say the key lies in the attention to detail. Do every small activity in the right way, using the right resources. Do not resort to any corner cutting. Do not try to save time. Take the time needed for doing a quality job, and do not neglect any small sign of trouble in any of the equipment in the reactor or the electricity generating conventional systems.
We are celebrating a major event, the anniversaries of the Indo-US civilian nuclear deal. What is the outcome? What is the way forward now? See, we already have the Russian-built reactors at Kudankulam 1 and 2. You already have another few coming there. Tell me a little bit about Kudankulam and also about the reactors from, say, what was Areva and became EDF, and what was Westinghouse and its successor. What is the status of all that, sir?
Well, you know that at Kudankulam we have 2 units, 1000 megawatt pressurized water reactor units, which are operational under generating electricity, and 2 more units of the same capacity are under construction. About 40% job has been completed there, and 2 more units have been ordered. The excavation has been completed, and very soon we will be launching the formal start of construction, or we'll be formally starting the construction of 2 more units. So the Kudankulam site is going to have 6,000 megawatt pressurized water reactors. being built in collaboration with our Russian partners. Coming to our discussions with the Westinghouse Electric Corporation of USA and with the EDF of France, we are involved in some very serious discussions to finalize the project proposal with both these partners, and I'm quite hopeful for the EDF EPR reactors. We have even identified a site and prepared the site. You may be aware at Jetapur we have the site up ready for them.
When do we start construction, sir?
Well, that will be a little too early to respond to this question, because that is not my prerogative to tell all these things. We are right now discussing with them, and you will understand, Mr. Bagla, that projects of this magnitude take time to reach the project proposal stage. So right now we are not there.
Have you completed the techno-economic details of these projects? Are we close to that?
Yeah, we can say we are close to that, and we have made very good progress, and some more creases are to be ironed out. Then we will be preparing our project proposals.
So you think India accepts nuclear and atomic energy? Many people in Europe are against it. Many places are shutting down. In India, there is still a rising sun on nuclear energy.
See, there are few places or few countries who see that there is no need for them to have nuclear in their energy mix. So the situation, the requirements, the conditions of each country are different. But then in the same Europe, if you see, there are other countries who are building new reactors. Finland for one, France for another one, UK is another one. Hinkley Point C, they are building 2 EPR reactors at Hinkley Point C, and they are considering more reactors at Sizewell and others, but they are yet to be announced. So it is not that everybody is shunning the nuclear power. United States of America is constructing new reactors. Turkey is a new entrant. UAE is a new entrant. Our neighbor Bangladesh is a new entrant. And we all know that China has got a very vibrant program, in addition to Russia.
Yeah. So you're hopeful of giving India more carbon-free energy as time goes by?
Yes, I'm quite confident that the role of nuclear in the energy mix of country will increase.
And you assure the country, sir, that there will be no breach of safety and no accidents of things which have not been thought of or things which cannot be prevented.
Yes, there is no hesitation in giving this assurance, because see, all these good achievements, they do not happen by doing a set of things. Then everybody could have done that. It is the culture, work culture and safety culture is more important. And the culture we are having in our organization, in our country, the culture which we are promoting and nurturing, that gives me this confidence that for us, safety is the first priority, safety is the second priority, and safety is the third priority. And we have no doubt in belief, and we do believe that a safe reactor is more productive reactor. It is a reliable reactor. If you take care of the safety, the reactor will take care of the production. So there is no contradiction between the two, and we never take any decision, safety significant decision, considering the demands of production.
Always a pleasure speaking to you, Sharma ji, and I hope to visit Kakrapar soon and take a look at the new 700 megawatt reactor. I have seen so many others, and this new build would be exciting to visit.
Yes.
Delight speaking to you, sir.
Yes, and my standing invitation is there for you to visit Kakrapar, see the place with your own eyes, make your own opinion, and then reassure our stakeholders, the country, about the state of affairs with respect to safety at these new reactors. Please do visit whenever the things become a little more convenient.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.